Hi, I'm Shyam Sekhar, and I'm going to talk to you on your journey towards financial freedom. Since 2015, we have been running a mass movement of financial inclusion. Everybody is getting financialized. We have a bank account, you get insured, you start investing in mutual funds, you see opportunities across the spectrum. But just seeing opportunities is not enough. You need to make the most of it. How many of you have seen people who have grown from nothing to 1 crore of financial wealth within a decade? You don't see too many people. But the opportunity is ahead of you. Every one of you can think of reaching the magic milestone of 1 crore. You know something? Only 3% of Indians currently own financial assets more than 1 crore. So, if you get there, you are a part of a select set of Indians who are high achievers and who know how to turn their achievements into financial wealth. I'm going to take you on this journey on 23rd August in a short webinar. Register right away and join us on this journey towards 1 crore, which we think is your first big step towards bigger wealth creation. So be there, join us, and let's talk.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Thank you all once again for joining me this morning for the webinar. So today we will be discussing how much savings is too much savings. So we're essentially trying to break this myth, right? There's no such thing as too much savings. So before we actually get into the webinar, I have a very interesting question for all of you. It's a film-based question. And this presentation I'm going to be taking forward based on that film, right? So I will first play the BGM of the film, and I would like some of you to guess which film it's from before I really reveal it. Okay. So Ramesh sir has guessed 12B, and yes, sir, you're right on the money. It is 12B. So what we're going to see is that in that film, right, there are two scenarios. There's one where the hero catches the bus and one where he misses the bus, right? I'm sure you all have watched the movie and you know the sequence of events that comes after. But the way I've structured this webinar today is that we look at these two scenarios, right? How we'll relate this to the topic that I have today is one where he catches the bus, as in there's somebody who starts earning at a young age but decides to splurge that money and starts to save much later, and one where he misses it, wherein the person who starts earning earlier on in life realizes how important it is to start saving early and sort of tries to give up all the basic pleasures of life, and not give up the basic pleasures of life, but sort of hold back on splurging money, right? So in the film, the hero who ends up missing the bus sort of emerges successful because he's able to find his partner and make a life out of it, right? So let's look at how this will sort of play out in our scenario, right? Before I ask you, or before I move on with the presentation, let me ask you all a question, wherein when you started earning, right? You say you started working at the age of 22. You can feel free to put your answers in the chat box. At what age did you start saving? Or did you think that, okay, I'm not going to get to enjoy my life after a certain point, so I would like to enjoy and spend all of my money now and then, look after whatever I need to do in the future. So at what age did you all start saving? Not investing. At what age did you all start saving? Feel free to put your answers in the chat box. Ramesh sir says 30 years. Shivakumar sir says from the second month of my income. That's great. That's from the age of 22. That's lovely. That's great to hear. Gokul says 24. Yes, sir. You started earning at 22 and you started saving at 30. Okay. I think this is going to be a very good example because I think that's the timeline that we have taken for this presentation as well. So essentially what we'll see is you start saving early and the kind of corpus you get to build, and you start saving late and the kind of corpus that you build and the difference. So essentially trying to break the myth that there is no such thing as too much savings. It's not going to cost you at any point. It's only going to help you build a bigger corpus and secure your future. So let's take an example of Anu, right? Scenario 1, where she starts her SIP from her first salary, which is the scenario where she misses the bus, and versus that she chooses to enjoy her life first, that she goes on the bus and begins her SIP only after turning 30. So in the first case, she starts at the age of 22, and in the second case, she starts at the age of 30. And what we are going to see here is that we take an SIP of 5,000 rupees a month at the age of 22. And she invests till retirement, which is, say, let's assume that she wants to retire at 60. She tries to enjoy all of the basic things in life in terms of, going to watch movies, spending time with her friends, occasional trips and all of that. But she still saves a considerable and significant amount of money from that first salary. This is scenario 1. Scenario 2 is where she thinks, okay, I have just started earning money. I would like to enjoy my life to the fullest, right? She takes the bus. I want to take the bus and I want to see what life has in store for me, and I want to splurge all of my money. She spends very freely. She has zero investments. She has zero commitments in terms of loans, debts, etc. No EMIs. And she also invests 5,000 per month in an SIP, but she starts at the age of 30, which means she has about 30 years left for retirement. In the first case, there's 38 years left for retirement because she started at 22. In the second case, she has 30 years left for retirement because she started at the age of 30. So what do you think the difference in corpus would be? You can take a wild guess, ballpark number. What would be the difference in the corpus? She say she started at 22 and say she started at 30. You can give me a wide difference. Okay, so you're trying to say that if she had started at the age of 30, her corpus would have been 50% lower than if she had started at 22, right, sir? About 20-30% lower. Can somebody please give me a guess in terms of the amount? 1 crore difference. 1 to 2, 1 crore versus 60 lakhs. Okay. So this is what the magic of time. This is the power of compounding, right? She starts at 22, starts at 30. She makes a corpus of 3.5 crores. Ramesh sir, I think you're right on the money in terms of the guess. Great job. 3.5 crores at 20 if she started at 22, and 1.5 crores if she had started at 30. Right? So there's a difference of 2 crores in the kind of corpus that you're able to build. She started saving so much earlier on in life and she was able to build a bigger corpus. And she started saving later in life and she was able to build a relatively lower corpus, right? So essentially that there is no such thing as too much savings. Whatever you save ultimately ends up, if channeled in the right way, it goes into something meaningful and it builds. So you let it stay there for longer and compounding will do its job. We're assuming here a very conservative 12% annual return and, accounted for inflation and all of that. So this is what time can do for you. And this is what maybe missing the bus, if I had to put it that way, can do for you. So say you started or you want to build a corpus of say 10 crores in the next 5 years, and you still have not started saving. I recently had a conversation with one of my clients who had started, who had started investing at the age of 35, if I'm not wrong. And we got a chance to review his external portfolio. And he said, in the next 5 years, I want to build a corpus of 10 crores. How would he have been able to do that if he had only started investing at the age of 32 or 35, right? Ideally, the initial capital that he would have had to put in to build such a corpus would have been so much larger than if he had started at a younger age. He would have had to start with an initial capital of easily 3 crores for him to build that up to 10 crores in 5 years. He wanted to build 10 crores by the time he was 40. But given he's starting only at 32 or 35, his initial capital or initial investment should have been much, much higher than, say, if he had started at in his 20s. Even in his 20s, say Anu had started that 5,000 SIP at 22, and she gradually stepped up her SIP by 10 or 20% every year. This 3.5 crores would have maybe grown to 5.5, 6 crores at the age of 60. So it's not just about disciplined investing in your SIPs. You have to definitely do that. But over and above that, what is more important is that you sort of either step up your SIP or you make additional contributions as and when you have the cash flow in order to help your wealth build faster. Right. So the lesson in this being that it's not about choosing between living life your way or wanting to enjoy life and savings. It's about the fact that it's never too much to save. Whatever you save ultimately gets channeled into investments, and that sort of bears fruit in terms of the corpus that you're building. So you can start with as small a corpus as you like, but the lesson here is to start early. It's okay if you miss the bus, but you start early, right? And let the compounding do the heavy lifting for you. Otherwise, starting late can mean that you are burning or you are putting more out of your pocket and not letting compounding do the heavy lifting for you. So I'm going to take a quick minute and open up our calculator, right? And if I'll just take some few people from the webinar itself, and we can see how much corpus you'll be able to build given your investment status right now. Do we have any participants? You can raise your hand and I can quickly give you mic access. I'm just quickly going to show you how compounding is going to do the magic for you if you start with. Yes, sir. I've given you mic access. Let me just share my screen and we can get started. Yes, sir. You can please unmute. I can't hear you, sir. You're not audible. I'm not able to hear you, sir. Would you like to put your details in the... Okay, so you're doing 6K SIP a month. And what is your investment horizon like, sir? You started this SIP at the age of 24. And till what age do you plan on running this SIP? Till retirement, I'm assuming. So can I assume that to be 60? Okay, so that's about 36 years till retirement. And we are assuming 12% return. Are you doing any step up, sir? Or it's just a 6K SIP per month? Okay, right now it's just 6K. So you are going to be able to build a corpus of 4.39 crores in the next 36 years. So the total investment that you make in this period will be close to 25, 26 lakhs. And the kind of corpus that you're going to build is going to be 4.39 crores. Now, let's say, for example, that you had started instead of at 24, you had started at 32. So that's about 28 years till retirement. And we'll see the opportunity cost lost in that case. You would have been able to build a corpus only of 1.65 crores, which is a difference of almost 3 crores, right? And your total investment period is about 21 lakhs in this period. Your investment difference is only 4 lakhs. But when you let compounding do the work, it's just going to be so much bigger, right? In terms of building that corpus. Let's take this calculator now for you, sir. We will answer all the questions that you're asking here. Can you help me with your age now? You are currently 26. Okay, and retirement at 60. Monthly household expenses, 25,000. Estimated rate of inflation, I'm taking at 6%. Currently, your monthly savings are at 6,000. Do you have any corpus already built for retirement, sir? You have 3 lakhs saved for retirement already. That's great. Estimated pre-retirement 12%, post-retirement 6. Life expectancy, I'm assuming to be 80, sir. Are you okay with all of the metrics that we've entered here? Okay. I'll hit calculate. Perfect. So your total savings at the time of retirement will be 4.86. So your current savings is right now enough to sustain your post-retirement expenses. Say if you're able to even step up this SIP by 10 or 15 or 20%, you're going to be able to build a bigger corpus. So your monthly household expenses after retirement, what is right now at, I think you said 25,000 expenses will be about 1.81. And your target savings, so the 3 lakhs that you have saved right now with current monthly savings will accumulate to 3.45. And your existing savings will grow to 1.41 crores, and totally your savings at retirement is going to be 4.86 crores. And that is a very good number, sir. It's very great to see that you have started at such a young age. At 24, you've started and you've been very disciplined. You still have 34 years left for retirement, and I'm sure you're going to be able to build a corpus even bigger as you grow in life. I hope this has given you like an idea. Is there anybody else who would like to do this, or shall I go ahead with the presentation? Nobody? Okay, great. So what we do here at Milestones2Wealth, right? Of course, we encourage people to save more, and we tell them that there's no such thing as too much savings, right? We have broken down all of these, this big target of 1 crore, which people dream of building, into various small milestones. That way, people don't feel disheartened or about the fact that they're not able to achieve any of their financial goals. So what we have done here is that we've broken down this goal of 1 crore into several small milestones. So they start from 0 to 2. They reach their 2 lakhs. From 2, they build 5. From 5, they build 10. From 10, they build 25. 25 to 50, 50 to 1 crore. And for people who have already reached their 1 crore, we've also rolled out a program called MDM, which is the $1 million milestone, to help people reach their first $1 million, right? So it's to be able to make this big goal into various small achievable goals that helps people stay consistent along the way, right? So your 20s are, it's meant for building wealth, and it's meant for building habits and not excuses for the fact that you're not able to save. So it's always better to start investing early, and you're always going to be able to enjoy no matter what. And of course, like I've been saying since the beginning of the webinar, there is no such thing as saving too much. It's always going to get, if channeled the right way, it's always going to get you to where you want to be, right? So that brings me to the end of the webinar.